Hey y'all, I'm gonna show you a few garden things, some problems I have. I usually come out early in the morning, about um, maybe 6:30, and water the garden and whatnot. It's a little bit later now; it's about 9:30, and we have bees hanging out inside of our squash blossoms. Thank you, Mr. Pollinator. Um, However, I showed you guys one in the last video. There may have actually even been two in there. Oh, look, now there's like a little war inside of here. Um, Second bee went in there. That flower closed up, the one that I showed in the previous video, and I think the bees were still inside. And that flower has not reopened, at least not that I have seen. So I'm curious, like, when it falls off or whatever, if those bees will still be in there. But we've got two inside of here just sort of chilling. I don't have any squash for them to pollinate. But yeah, oh, maybe there is one. The flower's not open though. Anyway, so there's that. I was going to let these tomatoes ripen a few more days, but this has literally fallen over. It's hard to tell from the video what is happening here because it is such a mess. Let me move my water. I'm trying to do a little bit of deep watering because I have still the issue with the blossom end rot. But this bed has done just really well, and I was thinking about coming through here, taking some things out, planting some new things, particularly the squash. But it's falling over. It is just doing whatever it's gonna do. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick these tomatoes that are blushing because they're ripe. They're not going to get any bigger. They will ripen on the counter. And then go through here and figure out like what I can cut off if I want to pull out any of these tomato plants. I think there's 5 of them in this bed. To give you context, it is that size of a bed, but this has just been wild. It's just been wild. And for all that I cut back, it literally multiplies tenfold the next day. So I was trying to wait for the stuff to ripen and then look at what I was going to pull out, but I don't think we can go a few more days because it fell over. These have started to ripen up in here. But I mean, I am propping stuff and trying to just make sure that they have access to airflow and sun, and they, are doing what they're doing. This, I will say, the stuff happening in this bed, no blossom end rot, so that is a good thing. I don't know what flower it was. It might be this little dried up one here. But yeah, this was something over here where it had the bees in it and it closed up. It may be that dried up one. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick all of these tomatoes, sit them on the counter to ripen, and then I will use those to make salsa. And I noticed too that this is where I really caught that it had fallen over. Like, this is leaning, that pole is leaning out, and it wasn't. It was straight up. And then it's on top of my eggplant, and it wasn't like that. And it's continuing to grow and do its thing. And I can't be mad at that, but we can't continue on this way. We cannot. Same thing with the green beans. They're out of control. I've just got to have something taller next year. But yeah, I've been pruning. That's my stuff that I have pulled out, and I have some nasturtiums blooming. First flowers from that. Still nothing happening with the cantaloupe. And then I was out here fooling with my watermelon. You see how I've tied those up in the little things there? Well, because some little critter came through here and did this. So that was the biggest one. I don't know if I'm going to tie it up or if I'm going to give up on it, but yeah, we have critters. Probably a possum, maybe the squirrel. I don't know. I've got a lot of water. Got a lot of water happening out here that the socks are wet right now. But I'm trying to get everything just watered really deeply because I don't know what else to do for the blossom end rot. I know I'm just scratching the surface on the watering. When I come out and water in the morning, I don't water nearly long enough. GreenStalk is alright. GreenStalk is alright. Probably need to harvest the kale and chard. But yeah, these, like I can see, I don't know if that's gonna make it. Might end up blossom end rot. My potatoes are ready to harvest. I'll probably do that with y'all. At least a couple of the bags soon, maybe later this week. And then this bed with the tomatoes and peppers is doing okay. I've still got carrots in there. I don't know if those carrots are going to get any bigger. They're probably still spaced too close together. I've got some cucumbers over there I need to harvest. So yeah, the garden is gardening, but I mainly brought y'all out here to see that I have a tomato problem. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, but like, you can't even tell what's happening. I'm like, it just is a little mini jungle in here and it has fallen over. These are, I believe, every plant in there is a indeterminate, which means it just keeps growing taller and taller. And so I feel like I've cut off the top of them and they don't care. They're like, thanks. We don't care. We're going to keep going. I'm pretty sure this was the top of one. And like, okay, well then this will grow out from here and we'll just get bigger another way. I don't know. But I'm trying not to lose any tomatoes. The dilemmas of a gardener. I mean, it's like so much weight. It's got my thing bending there. Those probably down there are not getting any sunlight because they are not ripening. I don't know. This whole gardening thing is just like purely speculative at this point. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that this fell over. Now I'm just sort of like, what next? What next? So we'll come back and we'll see what's next. We'll come back and we'll harvest some potatoes. And we'll keep going on this gardening adventure. Hey y'all, it's another Sunday in the garden with Nia. I have a few things I want to show and share with you. I gotta get myself a little harvest basket. I picked some basil and some tarragon and some rosemary and some lemon thyme. I'm gonna bake some chicken today, and so it's so awesome to be able to pull fresh herbs out of your garden. I also set up this lavender GreenStalk. This is a shorter one, so it is 3 tiers instead of 5. I had picked this one up before I picked up the blueberry. So I'm going to start some cool weather things in here, some lettuces, some spinach. I don't know exactly where its permanent home is going to be. It seems like it's getting kind of nice sun here off of the patio. I don't really have a cover. It flew off and was never replaced. So cool weather stuff, I don't want it in direct sun, but I really don't necessarily want it right next to the grill either. Anyway, I was able to, a friend told me that if you go to the weed store, not exactly, can you say that on YouTube? If you go to like the place where the people who have dispensaries and grow marijuana, you can get soil way cheaper. So I was paying $35 plus tax on Amazon for Happy Frog. And I told y'all I really, really like Happy Frog. And I wanted to amend my beds with it, but I was like, for that price, I'm not really sure how far we're going to get. So I paid $250 for 6 bags of Happy Frog on Amazon. I got 4 bags of Happy Frog and 2 bags of this Ocean, this Fox Farms Ocean, which is a little bit more expensive on Amazon. So the 6 bags that I paid $250 for on Amazon, $74 at the weed store. If you've got one in your area, you have places that sell soil and things. They had all the stuff for any gardening stuff you could want, but they cater to those who grow marijuana. So I call it the weed store. In any case, I'm so excited because now I can amend my beds, and the soil is top notch. Corn is doing nicely. I probably need to thin some of these out. There's too many in there. I had gone back and re-sowed some seeds because there was nothing happening. So now I have a few where I think there's too many and I probably need to thin it out. We'll probably work on that another time. But this soil is just amazing. It's so light and airy and rich. I'm so happy to be able to have picked that up. Over in garden land, I've been pruning today. We've got our cucumbers doing nicely. Oh, the other thing I did not show y'all is I started some slicer cucumbers. All I have so far have been pickling cucumbers. I did plant some slicers. I think the pickling took over. My pickles are really good, but they're too salty, so I'm going to make pickles again. I'm also going to make salsa today and can. I started some more zucchini, and I started some more cantaloupe. I have pretty much given up on these cantaloupe over here, so we are going to see. But I decided to put this on my zucchini plant. I don't know. I just want to train it up. No biggie there. I moved my lemongrass back there because I don't feel like it needs the sun that the tomato plant that was back there needs. So I moved the tomato plant up here. And then this is where the lemongrass was. And so now I feel like these items will get more sun, which this is some bell pepper, Cal Wonder pepper, and jalapeno pepper. And then the tomato plants here. And then I've got another watermelon that I started here, which is doing nicely. We've got a little baby watermelon there. I don't know if that's dirt. Doesn't look to be any bugs on there. But little baby watermelon. Hopefully it pollinated. I think we had another one that, oh yeah, here's another one. Little baby watermelon there. So we shall see what happens with the watermelons. I've come out here and picked pretty much all the tomatoes that are blushing. There's a few that I could probably pick back there. But it's the bees came out, and I said that means that's my cue to go in the house. So what I really need to do, and I'll probably work on it this evening, is get to this bed here that looks like nothing. It looks like an absolute jungle, because that is what it is. If you see this wire rack here hanging, everything fell forward. And so it's really messing up the 3 beds that I have here because it's laying on top of this stuff. I've got some, I think either 6 or 8 foot post that I'm going to come through here and put in here and then see if I can prop these up. I don't want to, like, these bees are like, we ain't friends. I appreciate y'all pollinating, but I don't trust you. We got trust issues. Anyways, look at these stalks. Look how thick they are. These tomato plants are just massive. Massive. So I don't know. Also, I've got 2 zucchini plants that are probably on their way out down here, which is why I replanted, because I want to have some to replace with. I don't know that I'll put them there, though. But this is just, it's still got stuff on here growing, but it's not, this whole leaning over stuff is not ideal. So I need to get in here and figure it out, but I need to come when the bees ain't out here, because I don't trust them. I probably am going to pull this plant out. It does not, I don't know what the problem is, but this yellow, I don't know if it's disease or what. And then the one behind it, the leaves curl. I've watered and watered. I don't know if it's I was thinking too little water. Now I'm thinking too much water. I don't know. But I may pull them both out because they are not doing anything, but looking sad. Over here, I tied my watermelon up because look at this. So rude. I'm going to take that off of there when I come fiddle with this bed. And then we do have another little baby watermelon over there as well. We've got some nasturtium flowers now growing. But the cantaloupe continue to do nothing. This side, so I feel like these green beans, I would not plant them there again. They're creating shade. Not shade is probably not the right word. They are blocking the sun completely for the pepper plants behind them. So I don't know if that's why my tomatillos are suffering. I've got tomatillos, poblanos, and jalapenos back there, and the tomatillos are not doing well, but the jalapenos and poblanos are okay, with the exception of whatever is coming and eating up the leaves at night. So I don't know. Note to self, next year, plant the beans in the back, and maybe they can use the fence a little bit as well to climb. But they are, this right hand side is got aphids for days. The left hand side has nowhere to go, like neither side has anywhere to go. But it's still producing tons of green beans. And this right here is cowpeas, which are like black-eyed peas. So I'm going to let these go till they dry out, because I actually want the bean to be able to make black-eyed peas. But I've got like 5 or 6 of these plants, so I'm hoping that they produce a good amount. But that's the first one that has sprouted there. And then over in the GreenStalk, I have one. So see, there's a lot of jalapenos on here. These seem to do well. I probably cut about 8 of them off. I found about 7 cucumbers yesterday just behind leaves. So see, these jalapenos are doing nicely. I probably won't cut any more because I have enough for my salsa. Okay, so these are rattlesnake pole beans. And I've only got a few. So I'm gonna keep an eye on them, but I don't want to pick them just yet. I want to have enough for a meal. But they have this color that's like I don't know, like a snake skin. So we've got a few of those. We've got No lunchbox peppers. We've got our sweetie cherry seems to be doing okay, but our sun sugar is struggling. I'm torn on what I want to do with this one. It has been producing a little bit, but it's not doing the best. So, and there's just really nowhere to go, because you could not tell me I should not put an indeterminate tomato in the GreenStalk, because I am not going to listen to you, because we like a challenge. Lesson learned. Will not repeat. And this one seems to be doing well. This is a husky cherry. So that's doing good. The Jimmy Nardello is doing very little, but it does have a few little buds on there, so I'm gonna let it be. And let's see, I had the dragon tongue. This is the dragon tongue, and I don't think I don't think it has any green beans yet, so we're still waiting on that one. But yeah, that is what is happening here in GreenStalk world. Can't say that I really like the GreenStalk, so I'm happy with it. And the things in there are doing well. I'm going to go back and show you my strawberry plants. I am going to harvest these Yukon potatoes. They say when all the leaves have died back, it's ready to harvest. So this one has completely died back. So I'll try to do that on film so y'all can see. Then over here, we also have some, this is starting to sprout, some cowpeas. So that is doing well. And there's another flower, so we'll have some more. And this bed, here's another thing where, like, Nia did not listen. Carrots. Look at my little baby carrot. So I didn't thin them out. So I don't anticipate having very big carrots, because the people are wrong. Why do we need to thin them out? So, yeah. That's not too bit small. I mean, it is small, but I probably would have a better had I listened. So let's pull some out. I'm going to plant some more carrots in the GreenStalk, because I can actually thin them out in there. And that fell off, so compost. Let's see over here. I left them too close together, and this is what happens when you do that. So at least now they're a little thinned. They would definitely be bigger had I listened. But yeah, so we have some carrots, some little baby carrots. We might do something with these. Chop them up and put them in a little something. It's like literally a bite. It's like a bite of carrots. But yeah, I'm going to wait for these other potatoes to die back, and then those will be harvested as well. And so let's go back to, cucumbers. So I do have along this side a row that I sowed, but again, it's so shady that I don't know that they're going to be able to take off. This plant has continued to do extremely well, though. So I want to get in here and prune, because it looks horrible, but we still have like little baby cucumbers all over the place. And there's one there. There's one there. And then there's some actual, oh my gosh, this cucumber's huge. They say, look at that. They say if you let one ripen on the vine, then the whole thing will stop. So try to be good about it. Here's a big, it's not big enough quite yet to harvest. but it's getting there. I missed this one the other day. They hide behind the leaves, so you gotta check. But these bees are, I can't with these bees, y'all. I don't know what they just look intimidating. But yeah, my project would probably be that. That tomato bed. The tomato bed is just not well. So here is the strawberries, and so this is all new growth. I cut them almost all back to this, which, if you don't know, looks dead, but they are not. And so they are coming back. They're all my strawberries, I believe, are everbearing. So we've got new growth coming in there. This is a combination of old. This is old growth. I can cut this back, but underneath there we've got new growth popping out. So I am excited that I think I did the right thing with the strawberries. I think the Happy Frog soil is so much better for them. And I also see this has some new growth here. I tried to pin in some runners. I've got them pinned in with a bobby pin to see if they would take, what do you call that? If they would root. And so see, that one has rooted and new growth is coming in. So, I won't have any strawberries this year, and I'm okay with that, but I think that this is going to be a much better home for them. And it looked really sad for a few weeks there, but they are coming along nicely, and so I cannot complain. That will be my strawberry tower. And then my calendula, chamomile, and comfrey is doing nicely here. Gets a nice bit of sun. And I am hoping to have a bunch of it. I've got a couple of, this is a calendula flower that I am going to cut. And then there's another one here, and I will dry those out because I want to make some calendula skincare. But yeah, that's what's happening in Nia's garden right now. So if I come back out today and harvest the potatoes, I will show you that. And then I don't even know how to get y'all a good look at this space right here for like before and after, because like it's wild over here. It is just wild. Let me see if I can get you. This is what I can't even back up any further. This is what it's looking like. It is just, everything is leaning to one side. And I've got a few branches leaning that way. I believe there are 5 tomato plants in here. There may be a little bit more. I believe there's only 5. I think there's 5 tomatoes and 4 zucchini, and then I had some basil. But I think there's like 2 Amish paste, 2 champions, and 1 San Marzano or something like that. And it is time for them to either, they're still producing, so I don't want them to go away, but they can't continue on like this. There's like no airflow coming through here. They're on top of something else, which is not good for the something else. They have to I've tried to like stop growing. I've chopped them, stop growing, and they just keep going. I pick tomatoes that have started to turn red, even though they aren't like a bright red. I sit them on the counter like this. I say that's their shoulder, sitting them on their shoulder, and literally within 24 hours they'll be all red. So I am beating whatever critters are out here and looking for something red and juicy to mess with, because y'all see what they did to my little watermelon. So we're not doing that with our tomatoes. But yeah, and I've got a eggplant under there that I need to come in. Get. It's under there somewhere. It is. So I need to come get that. It's probably been on there far too long. But I don't think that any bees would be over here pollinating my eggplant flowers because these vines from this bed have fallen over on top of it. So we must come through here and fix what is happening. So hopefully my little description here will help you see the difference when I show you the after, when I get out here and work on it. But that is what is happening out in Nia's garden. Hope you enjoyed this update. If you have any ideas, comments, suggestions, questions, please feel free to leave those down below. And I will see you back here next time. Not sure if this will be the end of the video or if I will come through and do a harvest or anything else. But thanks for watching if it is the end, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey y'all, so I'm back and I am outside fighting critters. I was out here minding my business and it's very hot, so generally there's no bees, but I got all my stuff together and came out here and here come the bees. Like, I don't understand. And why do they want to be my friend? Go be friends with a flower. Anyway, they stress me out because they're huge. And I know that they say that they're harmless, but all that buzzing, I don't like it. Anyway, the reason I came out here was I'm making steak bites for dinner, and I need some potatoes. And so I thought I would harvest these Yukon Golds that I've been talking about harvesting. I'm hopeful that there's no bugs because I don't feel like doing bugs on top of everything else. But, yeah. Let's harvest some potatoes. Let's see. So I'm going to turn you around. So they say when you have like all of the plant die back, that's when your potatoes are ready to harvest. So behind these tomatoes, I've got another Yukon Gold here, and so it's still green. It's dying back a little bit. But this one has completely died back. When I planted these, I started with just a little bit of soil, and then I kept doing what they call hilling up, and so adding soil, until we got almost to the top. So I'm hoping that there's quite a few potatoes in here. I'm hoping that there's no bugs in here. I had watched some videos and people were, I think, had like earwigs and grubs and different things in their potato plants, so hoping didn't have any of that. But let's dump it out and see if we have any Yukon Gold. If not, we will be having rice for dinner. All right, y'all, my neighbor's AC popped on and I was trying to wait it out, but it's pretty hot today, so I could be waiting a while. So hopefully you are able to still hear me, but I am going to dump this bag out, and hopefully we have some Yukon Gold potatoes. Surprised how moist the soil is. I always feel like it's dry. Oh, all right. There is a potato. It does not seem that hilling up made a difference. It's a pretty nice sized potato though, but I'm pretty far down in the bag. Here's a little baby potato. So yeah, hilling up. I'm genuinely impressed with how rich the soil looks. I always feel like I'm underwatering. Okay, so here's another little baby. Here's a good sized one. Couple more little babies. That's another little baby. I think this is the original potato. Now I put the same bark you saw on the top I had down at the bottom as well. So I'm starting to hit that. Alright, so I think that is it. Fortunately, it's enough for my dinner. So we have these little baby nuggets that I can't do much with, but we've got these 3 that are a good size. Not a huge potato harvest, but they are potatoes nonetheless that I grew myself, and so I'm excited about that. I am going to have them for dinner. And I'll let you know how they taste. Then I need to decide what I'm going to do with this bag, if I'm going to grow more potatoes in here, which I may do, or something else. I really wanted to do some sweet potatoes, but I wasn't able to get slips, so I may do some more potatoes. We'll see. I could harvest another bag, but I'm not going to do that today. But I just wanted y'all to see like what the harvesting of your, I cannot get this glove off, the harvesting of your food looks like. And so that is what is in this bag. I may go back through there and look again, one more check, but got a handful of little Yukon Gold potatoes for dinner tonight. So I'm gonna close this video out here. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll let you know how dinner was. See you next time. Bye.